Previously in Part 1, a rising cycling star, Mariah Wilson, was found murdered in her friend's apartment. What seemed like a robbery turned out to be something far more personal. The investigation uncovered a web of jealousy, betrayal, and a love triangle involving her ex-boyfriend, Colin Strickland, and his on-and-off girlfriend, Caitlin Armstrong. As detectives closed in, Caitlin vanished, using a fake passport to escape the country. In Part 2, we follow the intense international manhunt, Caitlin's dramatic disguise, and how justice finally caught up with her. This is the conclusion to one of the most chilling true crime stories in recent years.
Whenever I was over there earlier, I saw there was the other car, because you said that you drive a motorcycle and then you drove the Mercedes.
Drove Mercedes.
Up here. I guess the other one
is hers. My girlfriend, Caitlin.
Okay, so that belongs to her. Okay. Yeah. All right, so you got back around like 7:30.
I don't know exactly when that was. I think I texted Caitlin as I was leaving, just saying, hey, are you still out getting food? Yeah, more like 8:30 is when I dropped her off at her house.
Okay.
I think just before dark, so I texted Caitlin as I was after I left.
Okay. And that was whenever you...
It says 8:36. I think she was in a yoga class. She showed up in time close.
So you're getting back home. She's not home. What time was it that she got home?
Short right after I texted her, probably 9:20 or so. That's 9:21.
Okay. Like where had she been? Like that whole...
She had actually a laser hair removal appointment, she said, at 7 p.m. downtown.
Uh-huh.
And then after that, I'm not exactly sure. She had texted me asking if I wanted to meet up, and I didn't reply. And then I didn't see her or hear from her until I was back at home.
And did she say anything like whenever she got home? Like where she'd been?
No, but she was in her a yoga outfit, carrying a yoga mat.
2 days after the murder, Colin was called back for another interview, where he provided texts and timestamps that confirmed his alibi. This helped clear him of involvement, but it also gave police more reasons to suspect Caitlin. They found out that her whereabouts during the time of the murder were completely unaccounted for. Then came a breakthrough. Caitlin had an outstanding warrant. That was all officers needed to bring her in.
If I have an existing warrant, and you don't know what it's about, do I need an attorney here?
So the warrant is just a Class B, just theft of service type thing. The reason I'm here is because your name came up during a conversation with Colin. I think there's a lot more information that you have that can kind of explain some of the stuff he's saying. But to be able to do that, I have to read you your rights, just so that you know and you're protected and things like that, okay?
Okay, and so if you're reading me my rights, then I should
That's because of the warrant, because you're under arrest for the warrant. So you're technically in custody because of that warrant. So they're two separate things. Does that make sense?
I think so, but I have never heard.
But once she requested a lawyer, they had to stop the questioning and Caitlin walked free. Police brought Colin back in, but this time he arrived with a lawyer, which made the interview more difficult.
How was Caitlin during that time? I guess my understanding, she wasn't too happy whenever she saw Mo.
Caitlin we were, after Mo was in Austin for a week, and Mo and I had broken up with Caitlin before Mo came to town.
Mm-hmm.
And then I actually did not know that she was coming to Austin in October. I had no idea. We hadn't discussed that, and I don't think so. It felt like a surprise. And then she was here, and I just said, "Oh, let's hang out." So I was mentally ready to kind of move on. And I know after Mo left town after a week, Caitlin's things were still at my house. We were sleeping in separate rooms, and effectively, Caitlin was on Bumble. I know she had made several dates with people. I don't know. I never asked what extent they were evolving a relationship, but I know that she had several men that she was dating of sorts, and I was fine with it. I mean, that was kind of the understanding, of course. Mm-hmm. So, it just seems very weird to me that there would be any dwelling on fixating on a person when she was moving on to other relationships, at that time.
Kind of going back to, me just trying to figure out just kind of how she is, her personality and stuff. I mean, if you were to ask me about like, hey, how was your wife? Well, yeah, I'm going to tell you, yeah, she's always happy. But does she get mad? Yes, everybody gets mad. That's natural. I'm not going to blow that out of proportion. Do I think that my wife could go and kill somebody? No. There's no way in the world. Do I think my wife would hit somebody? No. Now, if you ask me that about my 6-year-old son, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he wouldn't punch somebody.
I think Caitlin would hit somebody. No, I honestly don't, because it would be too. I don't know. Do I think Caitlin could kill somebody? No, I don't.
I think y'all need to stop talking to each other. You need to separate yourselves from each other while the fact finding is going on. I just don't think it would be helpful.
Of course.
And so I don't think there's been very much. There's definitely not been any being together
since she left. And I left Friday midday, eventually to get a new SIM card for my phone, which I assumed was okay.
Yeah.
Had the same number.
You're allowed to have a phone.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
And then saw Claire. Since then, I haven't spoken with Caitlin or seen her. And so the two detectives came by my house yesterday. Looking at asking if she was there, if I had seen where she was. And my father had contacted her yesterday morning. He had gotten in touch with her. I gave him the number that Caitlin had given our mutual attorney.
Has she ever mentioned in the past of wanting to hurt Mo?
No, she's never mentioned wanting to physically hurt.
Okay. Do you think that she is capable?
If I thought she was physically capable of hurting another human, I would have extricated myself immediately from that situation. Not only not so much for my own personal safety, but my concern for another human.
So what's that answer?
The answer is no.
Okay.
I don't believe in any way she's capable of that.
Okay. The gun range that she visited with her sister, do you know where that gun range is?
I think it was South I-35. I told them to go to the Reds, which is now something else, which is the one I drove past on my way to school for 12 years at the Waldorf School.
Still, they learned he had once purchased a gun for Caitlin's self-defense. Forensic tests later revealed that bullets found at the crime scene matched the caliber of that gun. Investigators also traced phone records and camera footage to track everyone's movements. On May 11th, Colin and Mariah were seen leaving a swimming pool before heading to her house, but Caitlin had secretly followed them. After Colin dropped Mariah off, a doorbell camera caught her screaming, just moments before she was tragically killed. Before police could arrest Caitlin, they discovered she had already left the country using her sister's passport. She had fled to Costa Rica and was working as a yoga instructor. Officers created a fake job post online, and Caitlin responded. Even though she changed her appearance through surgery, officers identified her by her eyes and arrested her. Back in the U.S., she was charged with murder. In October 2023, she attempted another escape during a doctor's visit but was caught. With the gun evidence, Colin's testimony, and camera footage, Caitlin was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to 90 years in prison.